Russia, Russia, Russia.
Fight for Ukraine. New world order.
Oh, this is also Elon.
You are already sort of a cybernetic symbiote. Neural nets are taking over from regular programming. So you are connected.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with Starlink, which you tried to connect to at Burning Man. I think we know what was happening.
Mm-hmm. It didn't work.
RMX.news. Poland has funded over half of the Starlink terminals for Ukraine. It's all in Antarctica and Ukraine. That's why they couldn't get one to you.
I was wondering where they were what the funding was. You know, these billionaires, it's a funny thing with billionaires. They can afford to give things away for free, but they almost never do.
No, they don't want to incentivize you to become lazy slugs, sitting around on the internet.
You are you've got a direct pipeline to the lizard people propaganda today, don't you? You know, this is like Grandpappy always said, it's easy to become a billionaire. It's hard to stay a billionaire.
Yeah, it's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Exactly.
The Starlink terminals created by Elon Musk's firm SpaceX enables the Ukrainian army and civilians to use the internet. Out of the 20,000 of these terminals being used in Ukraine, 11,700 of them were purchased by Poland. The terminals help the Ukrainian military conduct surveillance and communicate. The systems are also used by civil society organizations and infrastructure operators. They are connected to satellites, enabling the Ukrainians to bypass any attacks on their own internet infrastructure that Russia might launch. Oh, Russia. Just after the start of the war, Musk's company granted access to Starlink for the Ukrainian authorities. However, in reality, 95% of the 20,000 terminals were funded from U.S., Polish, and British sources, as acknowledged by SpaceX in its communications with the Pentagon. These governments have also financed around 30% of the internet connection costs for the terminals. The cost per unit averages around $4,500 per month. According to the Polish government, Poland bought 11,700 Starlink terminals, 5,000 of which were purchased by Polish fuel giant PKN Orlen. Do you think that's a data operative as well? Data gathering operative?
I hadn't thought about it.
Polish
but yeah.
fuel company buying up some Starlinks there.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, that's we've broken that down before. The Starlink being just sort of a secret weapon when it comes to data gathering, data control, the gathering of the new oil, the resource, the national resource that is big data. And it is certainly a wonderful way to encourage a nation state to pay your company billions of dollars in sort of a faux philanthropic endeavor when they can make up for it on the back end with all the big data, not just that they could sell, but also, for intelligence purposes.
Yeah. The Ukrainians are now asking SpaceX for an additional 6,200 terminals and around 500 new terminals every month to replace those which on average the Russians managed to destroy in that time. Oh, the Russians are destroying them. SpaceX wants the Pentagon to fund this bill, which would come to $380 million, according to Musk. The Starlink terminals are using up to 100 times more in data transmission compared to domestic use.
Huh.
Yeah. Interesting.
Makes sense.
And then it goes into just a couple sentences about Musk and his controversy with Ukraine and the Twitter thing and all that kind of stuff. But in conjunction with this, the newstimes.com reported a few days ago, officials, Musk seeks U.S. funds for Ukraine satellite network. I know this article we just read mentioned it, but just nice to see in print. The Defense Department has gotten a request from SpaceX and Tesla CEO Elon Musk to take over funding for his satellite network that has provided crucial battlefield communications for Ukrainian military forces since almost the beginning of its war with Russia, U.S. officials said Friday. So, a couple angles to this. You have Elon kind of jumping on the train of funding the war kind of thing. If you're gonna fund the war, buy my product, the military industrial complex. I have a great service to offer, but right. Also kind of, stepping back a little bit from all that, it's kind of interesting that the tensions in general in the 21st century here, as 2022, war over in Ukraine, Russia, Ukraine, the whole deal, and deploying this oligarch, this American oligarch. I guess technically he's an American citizen now, right? So American oligarch to, have his technology be used in this time of war almost feels like that problem, reaction, solution type of thing. He's been working on Starlink for a long time, but the use case, is it just the internet? If it's just the internet, it's like, okay, well, we got all kinds of options. But if it's during the time of war, then we need, more robust public-private partnerships with the government and corporations, and we need to help the people. So I just think it's interesting to see this entire thing be fairly transparent. I think in the past, corporations that help out the government weren't as transparent at the time. What's the example? IBM during World War II and all that stuff.
Right.
Now it's just like, yeah, let's make it happen. And Elon's all about it. He's making money from the government, which a lot of his money's from the government anyway. So, it's just one of those stories that inherently, maybe you've even seen it around, but for mostly mainstream articles to start picking up on it and just being like, yeah, the Defense Department, they want us to fund Starlink for Elon over there in Ukraine. It's just kind of like, all right, well, I guess we know which direction this is going.
I have a question, and maybe I missed it. Has Poland been paying for the Starlink the whole time, or did Poland step in when the Defense Department didn't pick up the slack?
I think Poland has been doing it for a while, and then now at this point they're asking for more. Poland, which is a SpaceX promise to fund it as a Ukraine. So they were sending it to Ukraine. The Polish bought it for the Ukrainians, and now Ukraine is asking SpaceX for more. They're kind of like, oh, we like this. We like this product. Give us more. And then Musk is like, well, we need more money.
Yeah,
let's go to the money printer.
Yeah. It is interesting because originally, when it was reported in the mainstream, it was reported as if Elon was sort of doing it as a charity, like he was just sending it over out of his own pocket.
He's the peace man,
such a good guy,
the Prince of Peace.
And of course,
Twitter
almost immediately after that, there was another round of Elon is the right-wing terrorist, right, Antichrist.
Man, they really slap him around, huh? He's the hero 1 minute, and then he's
it's very suspicious.
Yeah,
it always ends up working in his favor, doesn't it?
That is interesting.
Although it may not always work in his favor, let's hop over and carry some water for Putin. This is coming from RT, Russia Today, some alleged Russian state media headline. Elon Musk discovers Ukrainian kill list. He's discovered it. That's nice. It's kind of a weird way to put that. Elon Musk discovers Ukrainian kill list. Elon Musk has expressed concern over a controversial website, Mirotvorets, okay, which lists supposed enemies of Ukraine, amid claims that his own name briefly appeared on the site following his threat to cut funding for Starlink satellite internet services. That's weird. Cut funding. I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah, see, isn't that interesting?
It's a weird
we just talked about where the funding was coming from.
Yeah. The system is known to be connected to the state apparatus in Kiev. The system. I think they're talking about the Mirotvorets, the website that has the kill list, is known to be connected to the state apparatus in Kiev. Quote, is this list real? What's the URL? The SpaceX CEO tweeted in response to journalist Ava Bartlett, who shared a viral screenshot on Friday that claims to show his name added to the notorious database. Quote, I've been speaking and writing about this list for years after being placed on it in 2019. But now that Musk is on it, after Roger Waters and others, perhaps the peacemaker list might itself be killed, Bartlett wrote. Musk's name was not on the list as of Saturday, and it remains unclear whether or not it appeared on Mirotvorets even briefly. According to some reports, his profile was swiftly scrubbed from the database, while Ukrainian activists claimed the picture was fake and called it a Russian provocation. Ooh. Many of Musk's followers were surprised to find out that he had never heard of Mirochrovets before and bombarded him with examples of prominent public figures on the database, some already marked as liquidated. Ooh. Musk said it was concerning after checking with Wikipedia that the list does indeed exist and has been allowed to remain online since 2014. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Well, how is this list allowed to remain online? It's a literal kill list.
Yeah, well, see, this is the interesting thing about Elon. He's able to garner from some people some kind of, especially sort of the fringy people that are already marginalized by the system. He's able to kind of pander to them and gain their
he walks this line so perfectly, which is why he's sort of a suspicious figure. Of course, many people are under the impression that he's a billionaire. He's an elite. He is an elite. Let's not forget that. He is an elite.
I thought he wants to restore person. Twitter and bring back Trump.
No. He's part of the red wave. He's playing his part brilliantly, but remember, he is not on your side. Mirochrovets, which means peacemaker, is a supposedly independent database of individuals who the anonymous moderators consider to be threats to Ukrainian national security. The site denies that it is a kill list. Rather, it claims to be a source of information for law enforcement agencies and special services about pro-Russian terrorists, separatists, and war criminals, among others. It allegedly has links to Ukraine's interior ministry. Mirochrovets gained notoriety in 2015. Then writer and historian Oles Buzina and politician Oleg Kalashnikov were assassinated in Ukraine after their profiles appeared on the website. In 2016, EU officials and the journalist groups condemned Mirochrovets for leaking data on more than 4,000 members of the media.
Doesn't this sound kind of like its own QAnon over there?
A little bit. I see what you're saying.
Not exactly, but sort of this intel, independent, anonymous op that is supposed to be protecting sort of the nation's
targeting
interests.
In the name of national security, kind of linked, but not really officially to like insiders. Yeah, it's got a bit of a kind of a Q feel to it. Human rights activists discovered that the website features the personal details of 327 children, prompting the Russian authorities to share their concerns over this huge injustice with the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. The website has published personal details, including names, addresses, photos, social media pages of children, the youngest of whom is not even 10 years old. According to the head of the Foundation for the Fight Against Repression. The allegations that Musk briefly appeared on the kill list have been making the rounds on social media for the past 2 days, following reports that he sought to cut off free Starlink services for Ukraine unless the Pentagon agreed to cover his company's losses. On Saturday, Musk made an abrupt U-turn, saying, "The heck with it. We'll just keep funding Ukraine government for free." Okay. I mean, that's what everybody else is doing, apparently.
Yeah, but hey, wait a minute. We're doing that now, Elon. Yeah. We pay taxes. That's what we're doing. We're all funding the government for free.
Yeah, I mean, that's very interesting. Again, in that Elon way, even being put on a Ukrainian kill list seems to work to his advantage in some way or another. Just adding another chapter to the drama that is Elon Musk.
Yeah, he seems to, again, garner the sympathy of more of your freedom-fighting, independent, libertarian-minded folks, and at the same time is making deals with the Department of Defense, or trying to anyway, to fund his projects for whatever.
He's let no crisis go to waste.
Yeah.
I mean, remember that he's on the kill list because he was telling Ukraine that they should make a peace deal with Russia.
Right.
So he's sort of this anti-war. Why are we supporting Ukraine? well, I guess I'll send them some Starlink, but as long as Poland pays for it. Oh, well, now they're being mean to me because I told them to have peace stocks, and now I'm on a kill list. Okay, awesome. Well, I guess I'll just keep giving you internet. Yeah, it's a very interesting... Again, going to the chess game that is not just the war, but is sort of the life and theatrics of an American oligarch, aka billionaire businessman.
Yeah. Yep. And just to kind of wrap it up here, I did hear, just as a side note, Chamath Palihapitiya, he's the Canadian American venture capitalist. I think he's a billionaire. He was mentioning the other day that the reason why all this nuke talk, with Russia and Putin and the threats of nuclear war and World War III, the reason why is because they are trying to maintain the economic sort of reset and keeping rates up and trying to, keep the economy suppressed all around the world so that we don't result in a nuclear conflict. So all the nations are like, we can't afford it. We can't afford to, we can't afford it. We got to figure out help our own people kind of thing, which to me is very suspicious that he would say that. It's like, oh, okay. So it's just a money thing. It's just a monetary purpose.
Right. Exactly.
So,
yeah, it's very strange, and we just got to remember not to be fooled by it. It's easy to get sucked into the narrative as it gets presented and rolled out for us.
Yeah, no, because it does. Like, the absurdity becomes really obvious, and then anyone who speaks any sense, you tend to get all pumped about. You tend to get really excited about.
Totally.
So yeah,
totally.